Welcome to another LGPro Corporate Partner Spotlight, and it is my pleasure to say hello to Heather Johnson, the Principal Consultant at Your Future Options. Hello, Heather, and welcome.
Hi, Chris, and it's great to talk to you. Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about your background and how it's relevant to local government?
Yes, so I've got a pretty mixed background. I think it's partly because I'm a very curious person. So I've actually worked in local government, state government, community services, health services. But most of my work in local government has been in the community services sphere. So I've been on the client side in the early days where we had competitive tendering and looking at contracts. I've been a director of community services. And I've also done change management processes in Asian disability services and community planning.
Well, you certainly bring a broad depth of experience to the problems and the challenges that are faced by local government. And I know you have a view that the post-COVID world that we're moving into presents some significant opportunities for local governments. Why do you say that?
Well, I think, organisations face disruptions and challenges all the time. COVID is a pretty big one. And I guess one of the opportunities about COVID is we're all experiencing it together. So sometimes when you want to introduce change, there's not always the momentum and there's not always the buy-in, but now everybody's going, what are we going to do? How should we work? What have we learned? So it's a great opportunity to take that energy and interest and to a certain extent anxiety and channel that and lead it into, where can we go now? I'm working with an organisation at the moment, and for them, they're really looking at, they were surprised to find that working from home, their workers were more productive. And it really made them think about, we've got 4 offices across a big region. Is that really the best way to work? Maybe we could actually do this differently. So we're looking at models of work. So you could look at co-working options, office models, different types of things. And the opportunity that also gives you to partner with some of your stakeholders in the community. So you start to share spaces instead of that, separate corporate kind of headquarter thing. So, but it is quite challenging because we can't meet in the same way that we used to. And there's also work health and safety issues that we have to think about. So it's opening a whole lot of opportunities to think afresh. And I guess the other big driver, of course, is digital infrastructure. And a lot of people have said, in this particular organisation, they'd already moved on to Microsoft Teams just before the COVID hit. So they felt quite prepared. But obviously some people had to bring that in pretty quickly. But there's a lot of opportunities in technology to harness, and people have said we've transformed like 15, 20 years in a few days, because of this.
As you know, councils are unique beasts. They're not easy to turn around sometimes. Innovation sometimes comes with particular challenges. Where do you think you can provide some value in helping councils realise these opportunities?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm a curious sort of person. I like to understand how things work. And I've done things like work with the City of Stonington on their building maintenance program, which might sound a bit strange for a community services person, but 75% of use in buildings is by community services. And in that organisation, we looked at, how's the customer service going? How are the different departments working together? So we actually did quite a lot of rethinking about work models and how people work together. So because I've worked in lots of different organisations and lots of different levels in organisations, I've got an understanding, of how things might work, and I'll see something and I'll think, oh, I remember when I was at, X organisation, they tried this, maybe we could try that here. Have you thought about that? So, and I guess the other thing is I've always brought, I started in social work. So we talked about systems theory back then. It's kind of become more popular now, but, and that's kind of shifted into strategy. So my operational experience and my experience in different roles, plus that kind of curiosity and strategic thinking that I bring, means that I can work through things at a practical level, but with that purpose and direction in mind. So I call it, I help people build strategy that's implementable.
So as you know, that point that you make about strategy being really important, there's a lot of work in the new Local Government Act around an integrated strategic planning framework. Do you think you're well placed to help councils deal with some of those tasks that need to happen over the next 18 months to 2 years?
Yeah, look, I'd love to be involved in some of that work. And I think one of the really great things about the Act is really bringing to highlight the need to engage with the community and the broad range of stakeholders. And I've always been interested in this issue and integration. It's a big issue in health services because there's lots of silos in health, but it's the same in local government as well. I just think it's really important. You've got to think about your direction and your purpose and line things up with that, and have that momentum, because you always have to have that purpose in mind, which is, how is this affecting the person in the community? How is this helping the health of the person? And how can we as professionals and workers in local government get together and help achieve those goals? And we might have to give up little bits of, power or, authority that we've got over certain things and start to share that with others. But, we'll gain things by doing that and sharing it and move things forward.
Makes a lot of sense, Heather. I'm sure there's people who'd like to know more about how you can help them and explore their options. And your business is called Your Future
Yes.
Options. How can people get in touch to find out more?
Well, I'm a proud corporate partner of LGPro, so you'll see my ads around the place, and I do come to things like the conference, so please come and talk to me there. But also I have a website called yourfutureoptions.com.au, and all my contact details are there. So I'm very happy to chat with people. It doesn't have to be a formal thing, just sound me out. I'm very happy to get involved. And as I said, I'm curious, so I'd love to meet you and find out about what your issues are.
Heather, it is a pleasure to have you as an LGPro corporate partner. Thank you for your support of LGPro and of the sector, and all the very best as we work through some very interesting and challenging times ahead. Great to speak with you.
Thank you so much, Chris.